am Helena Montez, 35, a senior bank executive who can hear the hum of the trading floor like a constant heartbeat, and who knows that money is only a louder kind of truth in this city. And I have a hidden ambition to design systems that outlive me, to turn every rule into a tool for power, to bend the clock so that my plans arrive ahead of the gossip. And the day that frames this episode is the day I walked into a room and found the man I trusted with my heart tangled with my oldest friend, because he forgot that trust is the softest currency and betrayal is a hard loan that never goes away. And I stood there, smelling coffee and something sour, the air buzzing with gossip and the fluorescent glare making the glass walls look like fences rather than windows. And in that moment, I learned that the real danger was not the person who lied, but the quiet approval that follows a smile that hides a plan. For in this world, I must be careful with every kiss and every handshake because the personal event that frames this episode is the moment when the best grasp I ever had of trust snapped like glass. Not in a loud confrontation, but in 1,000 tiny signs. The way the room went quiet when they thought I was not looking. The way his laugh rang a little too long when he told a joke that smelled of arrogance. The way she would not meet my eyes, even as she spoke of plans I had once helped them shape. And then the night I caught them in a corner of the city that never slept, the city lights washing their faces with a silver lie, while a song from a distant bar wrapped around us like a noose. And I left that scene with the taste of betrayal on my tongue and a single chilling thought: if they could betray me, they could betray anyone. And the only way to win this is to reset the rules in my favor, to take the pain and turn it into a blueprint, to rewrite the contract between power and people in a way that makes me the author of the ending rather than merely a character in. Here is the choice I make, and it is cruel in the precise way that justice can feel when it is cold as steel. I invite the X to stay on my invitation list, but only as a subordinate to my plan, not as a partner in any sense that matters. Because the hurt I carry is not the kind that fades with time. It is a sharpened blade that should not be left sheathed in the hands of someone who thought my mercy was a weakness. My hidden ambition nudges me forward, for I know the bank rewards risk only when it is visible. When the risk is shaped into a story others want to tell themselves about progress and resilience. And I intend to tell that story with every client call, every board meeting, every late-night briefing that sounds like a lullaby until the numbers rise. So I craft a plan that uses his appetite for a second chance against him. And I do this not out of malice alone, but out of the careful, relentless need to secure a future where I cannot be erased by the next rumor or the next betrayal, where I am the one who writes the ending of the chapter in which he appears, not the one who fades away because someone else believes my past is a confession they can coerce into silence. The first move I make is to place him directly under my supervision, a test of whether he can react with honesty when the room is full of people who can see him for what he truly is. And I do not tell him this with anger. I tell him with the calm that comes from knowing every breath of the plan is mine to command, with the confidence that the very idea of his failure under my watch will be a more effective punishment than any petty insult I could utter. And I watch him flinch when I say his name in a meeting, not as a shout, but as a quiet reminder that he is now an instrument I tune, not a person I lean on, because I must keep the line between mercy and strategy sharp and well lit. The way I set the trap is clean and almost surgical, and I do it with the same precise care I use when I review a risk model at dawn, the same care I apply to the money that whispers through the vaults like a careful stream that never complains, because I know how the mind works when it's cornered. I know how a man who has tasted easy affection can betray not once, but again and again, if the price is a promotion or a rumor that can lift him higher. And I know the power of making him earn his own reputation back from scratch, which is a kind of punishment that leaves him no room for excuses. And I let the whispers do most of the work, letting the shadow of doubt creep into his routine. The little, almost invisible choices that tell me everything I need to know about his character. And when he stumbles, when a misstep is more than a misstep but a pattern, I am ready with the next move. A promotion I announce with a smile that does not reach my eyes. A new project that will keep him busy. Meanwhile, I balance the personal with the professional because there is a line I will not cross, and it lies between the pain I feel and the mercy I owe to my own future. So I do not humiliate him in public. I do not lash out in a way that could hurt the whole bank. I do not allow for a scene that would feed the very appetite that could ruin us all. And this choice makes my choice for justice clear and ruthlessly efficient. I am not blind to what this does to me, to the cold weight in my chest that grows heavier as the weeks pass, to the way sleep seems to barter with the morning, to the taste of bitter coffee that cannot cover the sting of truth when I am alone in my office with the city lights pressed against the glass. And I acknowledge that in making him the instrument of my plan, I have traded a piece of my softer self for something harder to hold on to. But I tell myself that this trade is necessary, that the world we run will not wait for my conscience to catch up with my ambition. And I keep the line tight by focusing on the numbers that do not lie, and on the faces of those who would be hurt if the plan fails. And I rehearse every sentence I will speak at the next board meeting to ensure that the narrative around his fall remains mine to write, that no one will remember the kindness I offered him before this, that no one will doubt the price I paid for the path I chose, and I am careful to let this see. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, the plan bears its fruit in a way that feels almost inevitable. And the bank moves forward with a momentum that seems seamless, while I stand at the edge of the crowd and watch the current pull everything toward the shore I chose for us. And there is a moment when I realize that justice can feel cold and still be necessary, that the price of protection is sometimes the cost of a single heart. And I accept that the victory I wanted is not one medal or a cheer in the hallway, but a quiet, undeniable proof that the arrangement I orchestrated works, that the balance sheet and the calendar align to show that I was right to trust myself more than the old loyalties that collapsed around me. And when the final numbers come in and the board nods, I let a breath out that I did not realize I had been holding. And I walk away from the room with a sense of calm that borders on relief, because I have learned to wear the armor of discipline so well. I am Helena Montez, and this is only the first page of a larger plan I intend to write with the same steady hand that has guided me through every storm. Because the city is watching, the numbers are listening, and I am ready to turn every betrayal into a blueprint for power. A blueprint that will keep me standing long after the echoes of this chapter fade away.